Hello everyone, myself Assistant Professor Vatsal D. Patel from Civil Engineering Department working at Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center Navsari. Today we are going to discuss about identity and self-esteem. So for this, develop your own answer to the question, who am I? So let us see how non-contributors and contributors define themselves differently. So the non-contributors usually define themselves in terms of what they have acquired in life. For example, qualification, position, years of experience, etc. This is a static identity based on your past glories or past failures. This static identity leaves you trapped in a history. Whereas the contributors define themselves in terms of what they will become or accomplish. For example, capacity to deliver, commitment, and ownership of the organization's purpose, etc. This is a dynamic identity based on your being and becoming. Such an identity let you choose to live a better future. So, talking about non-contributors, they usually define themselves in terms of qualification, positions, years of experience, etc., etc. Like when you meet them, they will discuss about their qualification first, also compare their qualification with you. They sometimes also define their qualification as the best one. They thought that they have higher qualification, so they are better than other in terms of qualification. Also, if we talk about position, then also non-contributors are usually tell other person that I am at this position in my company or I work for this many years on this position. This number of people work below me, etc., etc. So, it is also found that non-contributors also define themselves in terms of position they acquired in their life. Their position may be higher, but its contribution to the organization and society is a big question. And lastly, if we talk about the experience, they usually define themselves in terms of experience, years of experience they have. Like I am working in this company from last 9 years, 10 years, etc., etc. Their years of experience may be more, but we have to see that what they mainly achieved in that 9 to 10 years. If they do not upgrade with time and only working at same company or place from so many years, that may not help them or also the organization or company to be better in the real world. So years of experience did not define how good are you. Your work during that period should be define you. Like if we take an example for it, so many times it is also seen that person working at particular organization or in a company from 2 to 3 years has performed better than the person working from last 9 to 10 years. Also, some cases or say difficulties are solved better by least experienced person. So all of this are static identity which leaves you trapped in a history. They are based on your past glories or failures. So if we only focus on this type of identity, we will may not come as a better person with respect to time. Like if you have the most higher qualification but you not have that quality to perform better, then your qualification will be only a piece of paper. Same as if we talk about the position of yours can be taken by other person within a second if they are better in terms of work or any other factors. So your position is not main, how you perform is the main factor. And lastly, if we talk about years of experience, for that if we not upgrade ourselves with respect to time, then years of experience not matter for your organization or company. How you maintain yourself with current trends will make you superior than others. So now if we talk about the contributor type person, they usually define themselves in terms of what they will become or what they want to accomplish in life. Like they mainly represent themselves in terms of capacity to deliver for the organization or company. They mainly show positive attitude or say what they are right now and they will become with their potential of working. Also, they show commitment for the work or say task given to them. They are always ready to work for the betterment of the organization and company in future. So for that they show commitments to work for that. They are always dedicated to their work and by the time they also complete their commitment. And at last, if we talk about the ownership of the organization purpose, they are always ready for all the work and also the objective set by the organization to reach that goal or purpose. They make their organization purpose as their own purpose. They try to be work at maximum to reach that organization purpose. So for that they take the whole responsibility as an individual one and work for the betterment of the organization in future. So all of these are dynamic identity based on your being and becoming in your life, and it is also helpful to live a better future. So if we maintain this type of attitude in our workplace and organization, it is helpful to both the person and the organization to perform better in future. Like if you have capacity to deliver, then you have to take the first step to do it for the organization and should show them that you have this much capacity to perform that work. If you have skills which are beneficial for organization, then you have to tell organization that you have that skill and can perform that work better. And if you not tell them, then that skill will be limited to you only. So if you capacity to deliver, then come forward and take the responsibility. Also we see that contributors show commitment towards their work. So if you work in an organization and the organization provide you some work or tasks and you show your commitment towards it, then you should accomplish it, your commitment. It is not like that only to impress your higher authority you say like this. So your commitment towards the organization should be always 100%, whether the organization take note of it or not. You should not concern about that point because one day your work will define you. So always be committed towards your work and organization. And if you take the ownership of the organization's purpose, then you should first decide objectives according to it and always work for the betterment of the organization, as the work of your organization will define you it in a real world, and do whatever needed to do for completing the purpose. So let us understand about static identity and dynamic identity by some of the examples. So as the title define, contributor choose a dynamic identity. So let us understand it with one example. So here you can see both the type of identity of environmental engineer, static one and dynamic one. So if we talk about the static identity type environmental engineer, after getting gold medal, he think like, I am a gold medalist in environmental engineering. Now I have nothing left to achieve in my life. Whereas dynamic identity type environmental engineer, after getting gold medal, think like, I seek to find solutions to environmental challenges. So after seeing both the identity, we can say that static identity type person only focus on qualification and achievement in his or her life. So after getting qualification and achievement, he or she not want to do anything more. After getting achievement, they stop trying something new. He or she think like he or she have achieved everything in his or her life. And if we talk about the dynamic identity type person, they seek to find solution for the problem which are faced by the society. He or she not stop his or her work after getting achievement in the life. After getting achievement, still they want to do something new for the society and they want to make positive difference in the world by their work. So static identity type person always want to learn something new, do something new for the society, and always try to work for the solution of the problem faced by the peoples and society. Now let us take another example for that. So if we talk about static identity type general manager, the general manager of a large company who feels like I am a general manager and I control hundreds of people. So if we talk about static identity, this type of person define themselves in terms of power and position. Like if he is a general manager of a large company, he want to rule on persons who are working under him. He show no concern for the people who works under him. These type of persons also try to show their image in society according to position they have in their company. Their thinking is like that: I am only the whole and soul of the company. I can control hundreds of people and they show no mercy on peoples working under their company. Now let us see dynamic identity type person. So he think like it's in my role as a general manager, I am responsible for the goals of the company and for the welfare of the productivity of the hundreds of people. So this type of person who is a general manager of a large company take responsibility in his work, like he is responsible for the goals of the company. He work with peoples under him to achieve that goals of the company. They not think like that I am a general manager of company, so person working under my company will do the all things. He also work with them. They also think about persons who are working in their company. Like if I am a general manager of a large company, it is my duty to achieve goals for the welfare and productivity of hundreds of people. Because if the goals are not achieved, then person working in that company may suffer a problem. So this type of person take responsibility in their work because they represent their company, and if responsibility is not maintained properly, then there will be a big issue for the company. Similarly, let us take another example of microbiology researcher. So static identity type microbiology researcher will think like 20 years back I got a gold medal in my subject. I have already achieved everything. What else is there to do or accomplish? Whereas dynamic identity type microbiology researcher will think like I love microbiology and excited by all the new developments taking place in the field. I need at least another 15 years more to go deep into the subject and solve newer challenges in the field. So if we talk about static identity type person, they live in the past glories they had. Like if we talk about a microbiology researcher, he feels like 20 years age I got a gold medal in my subject. So he think like he has achieved everything, he not needed to do anything new. But reality is not like that, because things before 20 years and present will not be the same. There are so many challenges or say changes year by year, but they remain present in their past glory, so they do not think about current scenario. Like if we talk about gold medal he get for the subject or for the particular matter or theory, they will be of no use in the current days. They are now replaced or say any new things has overtaken it. So this type of person only satisfied with their past glories. And if we talk about dynamic identity type person, they want to work for future potential. Like if we talk about microbiology researcher, he love his subject and also excited for the new developments taking place in the field. Like they are not stopped after they have achieved something. They continue to learn and try new and new things in their field. They are not satisfied with limited work. Like if there is any variation in the subject, then they think like there is lot more to do in the subject, and if they have to give time for it, it may be 10 to 15 years. Then also they want to learn about it and they want to go deeper into the subject. They also work on newer challenges in their field. So they work on future potential in their field and also focus on what they can accomplish in future. They also want to use their precious time for it. They do not see about the time span. They want to get better with time. Let us see one more example to understand this concept better. So here is the engineer with over 25 years of experience, and we will see what they think according to their identity. So the static type of engineer will think like, I have so many years of experience, so I know everything on the subject. What can a younger person teach me? Whereas the dynamic type of engineer will think like, my 25 years of experience has taught me to be open to new developments in my field. I have so much to learn, especially from my younger colleagues in my field. So if we talk about static identity type engineer, they think like they have so many years of experience, so they know everything. They not want to see or understand what other persons want to say. They think that they have all the knowledge and what can a younger person can teach them. They think like they have years of experience in particular field, and younger person then him have less knowledge according to the experience. So there is nothing to learn from younger person who are working with them. And if we see dynamic identity type engineer, they also have years of experience, but they thought that with time new development will be there in their field. So they think that there is a lot more to learn. Even if they have years of experience, they think that they can learn more from their younger colleagues also. They think that they can learn at any stage of their life, like if something new is in their field, younger person may know that better because they come through recent trend. So it is may easier for them to learn from younger person like that. So this type of person always try to learn the things which have new development opportunity and in their field. So from all these four cases, we can say that the contributor's image of self is not defined by the qualifications and achievements he or she has got. Rather, he or she thinks of oneself as someone who has the capability to make a positive difference in the world. Also, the contributor's image of self is not defined by power and position. Rather, the contributor focuses on the responsibility he or she has been entrusted with in that role. Also, the contributor's image of self is not defined by his or her past glories. Rather, the contributor sees oneself in terms of his or her future potential, what he or she can accomplish in the future. And the last one, the contributor's image of self is not built on the pride of knowledge gain. Rather, he or she sees oneself as a learner, where he or she is always willing to learn and grow. So, if I have static identity, then my identity or image of self is based on qualifications and awards, power and position, past achievement and knowledge gain. And if it is dynamic one, then my identity or image of self is based on the difference I can make to the world, the responsibility I carry, my future potential for the contribution, and my willingness to learn and grow. So now let us see some more example to refine our knowledge about static identity and dynamic identity. Rakesh and Amar are content expert and are part of a team that is working towards a tough deadline. Both have completed their writing work and have handed it over. This is what they do next. So Rakesh submit his work and say that I am a specialist in content writing. I have completed my part of the work properly. I can hardly be of use in any other way, and here I am submitting my part of the work. It is all done. I am going home now. So same scenarios there, but Aman says that I have completed my work, or sorry, I have completed my part of the work, but I can do a lot more to help the team in meeting our goals within this deadline. Also, he asked his team members, tell me, is there anything I can help you with? Also, tell them that you all look tired. Can I get you all some coffee? And also suggest them that why don't we try this out? It will help us accomplish the work faster. So, if we talk about Rakesh, then he only want to work according to his specialization. He don't want to do anything other than that. He also see him as a specialist in his work and also think like as he is a specialist in that particular work. So he not need to do more for that particular work. He think like which work is done by him is perfect. And if we talk about Aman, he accomplished the work which is provided to him, and he also care about what other members or teammates are doing. He want to help them in their work. Also he also try to find if they need any help from him. He also motivate his team members for that particular work and try to spread positivity in his work field. He want to help them in many ways. So from this case we can learn that static identity type person define themselves as like I am useful only for my specialization, and dynamic identity type person define themselves as like I can be useful in many ways. My specialization is only one such way of being useful. Next, we are going to take one case study which source is New York Times dated on October 7, 2008. So, as the title defined, man kills his family and himself over the stock market. So, let us see news about that incident. Mr. Rajaram, 45 years of age, shot his wife and three sons because of his financial troubles. The police found him on Monday on the floor of a bedroom. In a suicide note, Kartik Rajaram wrote that he was killing himself and his family because of his financial troubles. He was broke, having lost most of his assets in the plummeting stock market. He added that he had broken down emotionally, physically, and financially. Mr. Rajaram had earned about 8,75,000 pounds or say $1.2 million after a voluntary liquidation of Nano Universe, a company he had founded. His initial investment was 12,500 pounds only. Mr. Robinson, who had hired him in 2003, said he was extremely bright and capable but emotionally unstable. So let us understand this with one example. The news press is showing that stock market crash. By seeing this news, Rajana think like, oh no, I am finished. All my life work has come to zero. I am nothing, a complete loser. My life is over. It is not worth living. And by seeing the same news, Kamal think like, oh no, I have lost so much money. I am sad, no doubt. But I have life greatest asset, which is my own inner strength and confidence. Using this, money can always be earned again. So, if we talk about Rajaram, this type of person is considered in static identity who think like without money I am worth nothing. So this type of person think that if they have no money then they are become zero in their life. They have nothing left in their life. They consider themselves as loser and also think that their life is over and it is not worth living the life. And this type of person may take dangerous decision in their life, like if they lose all the money they think like now they cannot live into the society because all the money which they have earned is gone. And sometimes they may take decision like suicide or killing the whole family and then suicide. And if we talk about Kamal, this type of person is considered in dynamic identity who think like I am a man with inner strength and the capacity to earn money. So this type of person think that even if they lose lots of money, still they have self-confidence in themselves. They feel sad for sometimes, but they have confidence that with their inner strength they can earn money again. So this type of person never lose hope. They have confidence in themselves, like even if they lose all money they can earn it again by their skills and inner strength. So let us take one more example. Ketan and Raghav are promoted and transferred to the finance function. They were earlier working in the accounting department. So Ketan think like I have worked only in accounts before. How will I will be able to handle my responsibility in the finance department? How could they put me in something that is not my area of experience? I am sure to fail. Same scenarios here, but Raghav think like I know only accounts now, but I can always learn what is needed in finance. After all, the management wouldn't have put me here if they didn't believe I could handle it. This is a challenge and an opportunity to learn. So, from this case, we can learn that static identity type person thinking is like I can do only those things which I have done before. And dynamic type person thinking is like I am capable of learning all kinds of new things in my job. So if we talk about static identity type person, they not want to work out of their area of interest. They thought that they have experience in particular one work, so they do not want to try something new. They only want to work on that which they are doing from years. If they are provided any new work, they thought that this type of work they do not have done before, so they not want to do new work. Also they blame their organization that why they put them in new work even if they know that they are working in particularly one work from so many years. So their thinking is like they can only do which things they have done before. They are not ready for the new work and not want to try new work. And if we talk about dynamic identity type person, they think like they are capable of learning new things. If they are given any new work, then they thought that management wouldn't have given that work to them because management believed that they can handle this type of work. They see new work as opportunity to learn something and also take it as a challenge so that they can work effectively and can learn many new things from it. They are always ready to try the new things for the betterment of management and also for the betterment of their own. So this type of person think like they are capable of doing all the new things which are provided at their workplace. So let us see some interaction related to static and dynamic identity. So first we will see Sohail's interaction with seniors. So his senior asked him, "Can you do this for me, Sohail?" And he replied him that, "Of course, sir. I have all the time for you, sir." "You are very right, sir." "Yes, sir." So Sohail is servile in front of his seniors. Now let us see Sohail's interaction with juniors. One of his junior asked him, "Sir, I need this help urgently." Then he replied to her that, you people think you can come in anytime like this. I am busy. Don't bother me now." So Sohail has a sense of superiority with his juniors. So if we talk about this type of people, they are servile in front of his seniors. They show that they are ready to work for their seniors anytime they want. Also, if the things his senior is doing is not right, then also they say to his senior that they are right. So this type of person always behave in front of their seniors like whatever they say is right, and they have time for the work which their senior want to do. Also the same person behave differently with their junior, like if their junior are in problem and ask for some help, then they show their attitude like as they are juniors and he is a senior, then junior cannot come like this with their problem anytime. They show that they are very busy in their work and say his junior not to bother him. So this type of person shows superiority over their juniors. Now let us see Rohan's interaction with seniors. So his senior asked him, "Can you help me with this, Rohan?" And he replied, "Of course, sir. I will look into it immediately." So Rohan has mutual respect for his seniors. Also, let us see Rohan's interactions with juniors. So Rohan asked one of his junior that, "I see you need some help." And his junior replied, "Yes, sir, this is very urgent and I am stuck." And Rohan replied, "Let's work on it together. I am sure we will find a solution." So Rohan has the same mutual respect for his junior as well. So if we talk about this type of people, they have same mutual respect for seniors and juniors. If some work is provided by their seniors, then they try to look on that work immediately. They are always ready to help everyone. They have same respect for seniors as well as juniors. If juniors need any help from them, then also they help them with same enthusiasm. So this type of person serve the people at same level. They do not differentiate between seniors and juniors. Now let us see how static identity turns contributor person into a non-contributor. So Atul began his career as a contributor, but as his career progresses, his static identity turns him into a non-contributor. So Atul was a software coder. After working for many years on many complex projects, writing out many thousands of lines of code, testing, debugging, etc., he had become one of the best in his team. After a few years, when he was made the team lead, Atul felt recognized. He was respected by his team members because they found his technical inputs very valuable. Atul was also keen on supporting his team members with all the technical help because he felt I have been there and done it before. This was his domain. He knew that what was to be done, had all the answer. His team did well under him. The organization then made him the manager of that division. Now he was expected to coordinate with clients and with different teams, ensure timely payments from the client, etc. After the promotion, Atul was pleased by the well deserved acknowledgement of his good work. 3 months into the new role, his boss called him for a discussion. His boss told Atul that the team leads working under Atul has complained that they were being micromanaged too much. They had no freedom to bring in their own thinking and innovation and were feeling restricted. Atul was puzzled and indignant. After all, he was doing no difference from what he was doing earlier. They had liked his support then. If his working style brought him success earlier, then there is no reason that it should not work now. Atul continued with his way. He was busy all the time, getting involved in solving numerous small programming challenges of the team, doing the things that his juniors should have been coached to do instead. Because of this, Atul didn't have the time, so he ignored the larger responsibility that were now part of his managerial role. Clients were complaining, reports to the headquarters were irregular, resources were sorry mismanaged. Since Atul had been a star performer earlier, his boss gave him time to adjust, but even after 6 months, when there was no change, he had to admit Atul was not able to grow into the role of a manager. Atul thought he knew it all and was unwilling to learn the new way of handling things that was necessary in his new role. His boss was left wondering what to do with Atul. So, in this case, we see that one person is working with his full ability. He also leading his team very well at the starting and he is also respected by all his team members. Then organization give him new responsibility. So he has to deal with new clients and different teams. So after some time, people who are working with him or below him complain that they are not get freedom to work in their own way which is feasible for the organization, and also there is a mismanagement between different work. So after hearing all this, that person started leaving the problem of his previous team and solving the problems of his previous team and not concentrate on his newer roles, and the work which he was doing can be done by his juniors easily. So as he is a star performer of a company, organization gave him some more time to adjust for his new role, but he is busy in doing his all previous work and not to do that much for the newer one. So this type of static identity turns him from contributor to non-contributor, and his boss was left wondering what to do with him. So from this we can learn that if we stick to static identity, then there are less chances for us to be better with time. So time by time our roles may change. So for this we should change our static type of identity into the dynamic one, so that we can work with the hand in hand with the organization and peoples. Now let us see how static identity type person and dynamic identity type person give answers during the interview. So as we can see in the interview 1, interviewer asks, why should we hire you? Then the person replied, sir, please look at my mark sheet. They tell you who I am. Also see my certificates and awards. So this type of person define themselves in terms of degrees and awards they have. They think that they have all the required mark and certificate which are needed for the job. So for them, their degree and awards are everything for them. They not have anything else to define themselves. Now if we talk about interview 2, interviewer asking the same question, why should we hire you? Then the person replied, your job offer of an analyst requires rigor in thinking and going deep into any subject. I think I have these capabilities because of the kind of research project I have worked on in college. Also, he added, further, I have practiced singing for 12 years. This has taught me the self discipline and patience that is necessary in this job. Through football, I learned to work well in teams. Thus, I think I will be able to deliver the results you are looking for in this job. So, this type of person define themselves in terms of their capacity to deliver, like their power to contribute in current situation. So, for that particular job, the qualities which are required, they have already worked on that. Also, they can perform better in team. Also, and have all the qualities which are required for the post. So from this we can learn that static identity type person define themselves in terms of degrees and awards they have, and dynamic identity type person define themselves in terms of their power to contribute in the current situation. So here I end my session. Thank you all of you.